Hi, everybody. Angel here. Hope you're doing great. And today I'm excited to speak with Sunny of Sunny for Earth and Vegan Africa Fund. So we will get started momentarily. And if you have missed any of our previous Instagram lives, there are more than 90 Instagram lives on my page, so you can check those out. Thank you for joining, either live or on the replay. And we will get started very soon. Thank you. Thank you. So please let us know where you are tuning in to hear where you are joining us from.
Oh, Angel, good afternoon. Can you hear
Hi.
me?
Yeah,
Hi.
yes. How are you?
Amazing. I'm just looking at the chat. Conchi's so sweet. You do have beautiful skin. You're glowing. It's
That
so great to be here with you.
good to be here with you too. Great to meet you virtually at least.
Yeah, it's amazing to meet you. It's really cool. The first time we really connected, I actually heard you on a Clubhouse. You were on the one of the Whole Foods plant-based groups, and I've been vegan for 6 years, but recently started transitioning to a Whole Foods plant-based diet. So it was really interesting to speak about. And yeah, I'm really excited to just be here now and get to kind of speak with you about the Vegan Africa Fund and tell you a little bit more of my story. So thank you for having me.
Thank you, Sunny, for taking the time. And I want to say hi to everybody who's joining again. And please put your questions and comments down below for Sunny as we go along, and she'll be happy to answer. And while we wait, Sunny, let's just kick this off because we have lots of topics to cover. And
Absolutely.
I pinned a summary of our topics on the bottom just to keep me on track here. But don't worry
Oh,
about it. It's just my little shorthand on the bottom there. All
that's
right.
awesome.
All right, so here we go, Sunny. My first question for you, please, is if you could please share your vegan journey, how you started and how you ended up to where you are today. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been vegan for about 6 years now, and my initial reason for going vegan was actually for health reasons. I had a partner at the time who was diagnosed with cancer, and all of the research we were doing showed that a plant-based diet is the most effective way to reduce your risk. So we went vegan together in 2015. But the real transition point for me, where it became clear that this is, for the animals, for the movement, and for me to not continue to perpetuate suffering, was actually a little over a year after that. I have a degree in bioengineering, and the first job I worked in that field, I actually worked in animal testing. We had
Oh, wow.
kangaroo rats as our subjects. Yeah. And my job was like data analysis. It was all in the computer. But when I would go into the lab and I saw these rats, it really made me look in the mirror and ask myself, am I going to do work I'm ethically aligned with? Or, am I going to continue perpetuating this cycle of suffering? So I quit that job in bioengineering. I stopped contributing to suffering in that way. And so I have been a hardcore vegan for the animals for about 5 years now. And so that real first transition for me was, shifting to veganism, but lots of vegan substitutes. So I grew up in the States eating a lot of things like fried chicken, burgers, hot dogs, all of it. And so for me, when I first went vegan, the absolute easiest thing was to get the plant-based substitutes for all these
Yeah,
products.
yeah.
And I think that's where a lot of vegans start. So, sometimes we see this online Discord. Yeah, exactly. So you started there too. And some people are getting so, upset. Like, why do vegans make their products look like animal-based products? And you have to realize, like, it's all processed. An animal does not look like a hamburger.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
It's all processed.
That's a good
It's
one.
just that the meat industry might have done it first. But I think that, while vegan products have a really big role to play in helping people go vegan, the real health benefits are in eating whole foods,
Yeah,
plant-based.
yeah.
And my whole this journey, excuse me, this journey actually really started for me when I went to Africa in 2020, where I kind of had to leave behind all the privileges of a Western lifestyle in a lot of ways, in the sense that there were not the plethora of vegan, cheese and meat substitutes available. And
Yeah.
so I've been eating mostly whole foods plant-based for the past 2 years, which has been incredible, and where I've really seen the best impacts for my life, for my health. And for me, the longer I've been on this vegan journey, it's really been a spiritual journey for me, and one that I didn't expect it to be when I set out. But every day knowing that I'm not only not contributing to a cycle of suffering, but I'm actually working in my own ways to help reverse that cycle, is incredibly rewarding. And, I have this kind of mindset now where I see the world as, if you're not vegan, you're a future vegan. And I think that when we start to look at things like that, I think veganism is going to be the normal once it tastes twice as good, costs half as much, and the truth is really out there, and people's compassion is going to have to come through. So right now my passion is in helping people go vegan as I can, but really amplifying people in Africa specifically who are leading the vegan movement through community-driven efforts.
Yeah. Wow. Well, you just said a mouthful there. Your experience with the lab testing reminds me of a documentary I saw last year. There were about 3 women who previously were involved in this whole medical lab testing, and they just could not handle it. So they all quit, and they basically started speaking out for the animals, and they started to reveal like what was really going on
Yeah.
in these labs. It's a documentary. I don't remember the name exactly, but if anyone's interested, they could check out Vegan Film Festival, International Vegan Film Festival. It was a part of the International Vegan Film Festival last year, so that would be 2020. And if you're interested, you could just like maybe look at the different documentaries they had in the lineup last year and find it. But it's a very hidden it's a hidden what do I want to say, it's a hidden reality, and on my journey, although when I first started I called myself vegan, I didn't even realize that all this animal testing, and then I had to start reading labels, and a lot of people say the front is for entertainment and the back is for education. So for my beauty products, skincare, etc., I had to start reading the labels and learning what the symbols were for, cruelty-free or vegan, for example. So there's just so much that's just hidden. And I really, really, love your point. Animals don't look like burgers. They don't look like chicken nuggets. They don't look like hot dogs. They don't look like bacon. They don't look like all, these so-called foods that we've created. They don't look like sushi. They're
They
living.
actually are transformed to look like that to help people disconnect from the fact that this was a living, breathing, sentient being with a life, with a family, with parents and children half the time. So absolutely.
Yeah, and that's another point too. Thank you for bringing that up. A lot of us, including myself, I used to think, well, okay, well, the animals were just, here for us, not with us. And that's just how in my mind, I had just kind of, I don't know, through conditioning and society and marketing and advertising with the happy cow on the bottle or the box, or,
Oh yeah.
the
It
happy
was Chick-fil-A that always got me, the happy cows, like, hey, like, eat more chicken. It's like such a mind, it messes with your mind because you think these animals are, living this happy life until they come to their end. And, it's just meant to be that way, because God put them there for us. But that's such a, selfish, short-sighted view of the world. That's really just an excuse to keep commodifying bodies. And we've seen so much that the animal rights issue really is a woman's rights issue, right?
Yeah.
Like so much of the dairy industry, so much
And
of
the
the
egg
chicken industry,
industry.
the egg
Yeah.
industry. Oh, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was so hidden for me too for so long. It was just, I think a lot of us have what's called cognitive dissonance, where
Yes.
we think we're a good person. We think like, oh, I love
Yeah.
animals. I
Yeah.
don't want to hurt anybody. You know, I grew up with cats and dogs and thought, oh, I love my cats, I love my dogs, I would never hurt them. And then you're turning around and perpetuating that onto a pig, which is smarter than a dog, or onto a chicken, which didn't do anything. You know, they deserve
And
to live happy and free.
I know. And a couple of things I would say, I learned through observing animals in animal sanctuaries how
Mm.
they are really sentient beings. They're not just pictures on a box. They have feelings. They feel love and fear, anxiety. Some of them are really outgoing. Some are really
They all have a
introverted.
personality. Yes.
Some are introverted, some are shy. Of course, they've been, traumatized by being in the animal agriculture industry, the
Mm-hmm.
factory farming. And so a lot of them are traumatized, but it's so beautiful when they start to trust each other of their own species, other species, including us human animals. And it's just so beautiful to observe their true nature,
Mm.
So I just want to encourage anyone who doesn't really understand the nature, the true nature of who we call animals, to really, do some research, look at some documentaries, follow some animal sanctuaries, go visit an animal sanctuary
Mm-hmm.
if you're able, or animal conservation organizations, or wherever you are in the world. Yeah, I know everything is pretty much virtual these days, and I kind of keep up with the animals online, to be honest with you. Just,
Oh,
you
what's your
know,
favorite page? I'm so curious. Do you have?
I have a lot. I follow, for example, Woodstock Sanctuary. I follow Arthur's like where the pigs are. Um,
Yeah.
I follow some in Spain, Santuario Vegano. There's a couple in Brazil, Ahimsa Santuario, something. It's a really long name. I have so many I follow, and I just keep up with them. I like, oh my gosh, look what they're doing now. Or like the
Yeah.
elephants, the
Mm-hmm.
Shedrick. There's a Shedrick
Frederick
organization.
Wildlife. Yes, I'm obsessed with them. Oh
Me
my
too.
gosh, they're so beautiful.
Me too. And not only, and they're not only caring for elephants, they're caring for many other species, and so
Mm-hmm.
it's such a beautiful opportunity that we have to educate ourselves. So I want to
Absolutely.
ask you, Sunny, how did you become involved in Vegan Africa Fund? And tell us a bit more about, well, what is Vegan Africa Fund? Thank you.
Absolutely. So I'm the founder of the Vegan Africa Fund, and it's a pretty long, crazy story of how we got there. But for the sake of time, we'll make it as short as possible. So I started investing in Africa in February of this year. I was in Kenya, living on the Kenya coast for about 5 months, and I had a local vegan business called Vegan Basket that I was
Oh,
absolutely obsessed with. It's
oh
Kenya's
wow.
first vegan restaurant. It's just steps away from the beach. It's this beautiful, amazing, like vibration when you go there. The owners have been vegan for 15 years, Gitari and Jalelgo. And so I would go there. I was going there for months and really enjoying the food and the company. And then one day I sit down with the owners and we're having this heart to heart where I'm just asking them, about their wishes and their dreams and what they see with their company. And they really just laid it all out for me, how much they're struggling, and realized, there is this huge generational wealth gap in Africa and this huge history of colonization, which hasn't started. And when you want to run a startup and you want to run a business, you really do have to have capital to infuse into your business to be able to grow it and actually expand. And so as we're talking about these struggles that this company's having, when, I got into the finances a little bit with them, I realized from the numbers, like, oh, this is actually something I could help with. When you're investing in Africa, the dollar goes 10 times further. For example, I was in Kenya, and if you have 9,000 US dollars, you're a Kenyan millionaire. And it feels like it. And so realizing the privilege that I have coming from the West and having this ability to actually, invest and support something I believe in really spoke to me, because I've been an investor for about a little over 2 years in the crypto space. And I felt like that was something that I wanted to translate to real life. You know, investing in digital assets is great. Investing in things like, you know, property or physical businesses feels a bit more tangible. And so I invested in Vegan Basket and began to start helping them expand their location, which shifted from them just having, you know, very small restaurant seating capacity for about 7 or 8 people, really small kitchen. We doubled their kitchen size. We more than doubled their seating capacity. And we were able to launch a marketing push for them, for the vegans in the community, to help people go vegan in their community and to grow their brand. And so that was our first portfolio venture. But when I started it, I wasn't thinking of it as the Vegan Africa Fund. I was really thinking of it as, you know, me helping my local vegan business. But then I realized, like, this cannot just be, you know, these two amazing business owners that need this help. There are probably, you know, dozens of vegan entrepreneurs who I could reach out to. Then I realized in my research, there's not dozens. We've now built a directory of hundreds of vegan businesses all across Africa right now in 27 countries, but still growing the list. And realize that there is, one, a huge opportunity, because Africa is a great place to invest. As far as return on investment in the past decade, it's been one of the highest regions in the world. But also, like I said, your dollar goes so much farther. It's probably, you know, the place where your dollar goes the farthest in the world, the region at least. And so I started working to build out a Pan-African vegan network, connected with some people who were already doing this work, including the Veg Fest Morocco founders back in July. And we realized that, you know, what's really needed is a community and a network. When I started connecting with these founders and entrepreneurs, I sent out a survey, and I think we had 14 different founders answer it from 8 different countries. Basically ask them everything that they're struggling with, everything that they want to see, everything they need help with. And the common denominator was that these businesses are lacking a community, where the vegans in their small towns running their small businesses don't feel very connected to the Pan-African or the global vegan community. And time and time again, there's a lack of access to capital, where Africa is the most underfunded region in the world where it comes to venture capital. Because I invested in Vegan Basket, and then I asked myself, oh, is there like a fund that I can invest in? Is there a vegan fund for Africa? And I looked everywhere I could, and I realized, oh, there's nothing like this. This needs to exist. And realized, who's going to start it? I'm already doing this. I'm already investing in vegan businesses. Let's make it happen. Let's see if we can grow the fund. So now we are fundraising to run the fund, which is very exciting. We have a big push for Veganuary, and we'll close our pre-seed round in Veganuary. Yes, I'm very excited.
Yeah.
And right now, what's really crucial is climate change. Like, yes, we have to make sure we're respecting animal lives, but there's going to be no human or animal lives left to respect if we don't have a planet to live on. And we see that, you know, land is the most precious resource on our planet, and we're cutting down trees in the Congo rainforest to expand animal agriculture right now, almost as like severely as in Brazil. And we're seeing that there is a huge shift that's just at the beginning stages, where the first factory farms were introduced in Kenya less than 20 years ago. In Uganda, for example, there's no factory farms, but they want to start the first ones next year. And so this is happening because of international investment. Like, companies all over the world are coming into Africa and saying, we're going to cut down your forests and build more factory farms. And so my thinking is, you have to actually empower the communities that are doing the work to preserve this land, to help people shift to, you know, a less, you know, harmful lifestyle. And the real question of how to do it was just, you know, taking the little everyday steps to make it happen. And so as of this point, we have supported 5 organizations across the continent in 4 different countries, which has been incredible. And the movement is just at the very beginning. The vision is really for the Vegan Africa Fund to support vegan-founded vegan businesses in every country in Africa by the year 2030. And we're also, yes, so that's a huge goal. We want to be, you know, at the forefront, helping the vegan community really succeed. And we also want to help provide community. And that's where the VAF crypto comes in, where this is, the Vegan Africa Fund is not meant to be all of these separate entities that we're supporting. We want to bring them all into our network and help them start talking to each other.
Wow.
One of the other, I could talk so long about, how we got here, but one of the biggest other factors was there's a trade deficit in Africa where in the entire continent, 40 billion US dollars worth of food is imported more than what's exported every year, which is pretty crazy because it's such an agriculturally rich landscape.
I agree.
But you see the imported products are pretty problematic. It's things like processed foods, things like cereals and grains that are processed and oils, but also they're importing, dairy from Europe. They're importing beef cows from Brazil. They're importing chicken from the United States. And we're seeing this trend now where Africa is starting to consume a lot more meat.
Yeah.
One, kind of side topic, but something that I find pretty overwhelming is that for the first time in history, the Indian subcontinent is now more than 50% of people are eating meat. That has never happened in the history of India because it was mostly vegetarians. And so you see that this westernization of the developing world has resulted in things like heart disease, diabetes, all these health issues, and environmental degradation. And in Africa, it's the absolute youngest continent on the world, on the globe, where the average age is literally 20 years old. So we have a very young population. It's the fastest growing population. And they're being hit with all of these messages from the West, from these places of influence that say, from, churches, places of worship, that say you have to eat meat, you have to sacrifice animals. And we're really trying to get out in front of that and, launch marketing pushes and actually have vegan food available to say you can choose a more compassionate lifestyle. And so that is where we're at now, and really just working to empower the communities that are already doing this work to help them become more effective.
Man, gosh, it's so heartbreaking what you're talking about, but I have heard that this is happening in countries where the standard of living is going up, where the average salaries are going up. And so it's like a symbol of wealth for people.
Symbol of affluence, exactly.
For people to consume animals in their diet, in their fashion, in their furnishings, in their skincare, etc. It's tragic, and it's almost like you are trying to deal with this at the point, let's say, of like the 1950s, maybe when meat consumption, let's say in the US, I can speak for that in the Western world, maybe, just went up from like the 1940s, 50s, 60s, when you can see the graph and it goes up. And that's when people were, shall we say, increasing their wealth. And so I feel like you all are, dealing with this almost like a preventative measure, almost like trying to stop it before it ramps up. Before that,
instead of reactive.
Yeah,
yes, totally.
Before it ramps up, before that, curve just keeps going up. It's going to be tough because, the Western media is so powerful. And when people see what we call wealth and affluence and, what the rich and famous are doing, well, then everybody else wants to do it, and so it's very challenging. And I really applaud you all for trying to, I don't know if it's nip it in the bud or I don't really know what to call it, but it's very, very challenging. So tell us, how do people invest in the Vegan Africa Fund? If someone said, yeah, I want to invest in the Vegan Africa Fund, what would you say to them?
I would say thank you so much, first of all, because it really is making a huge difference. And the way to invest is through the VAF Impact Crypto. So I believe that 2022 is going to be the year of impact cryptocurrency, as much as 2021 was the year of NFTs, which you've probably heard.
Oh,
where
yeah.
Crypto for good is going to be the next step. We've seen blockchain companies, we've seen crypto companies have their initial coin offerings and raise enough funds to run a company for a decade. And we see that this is so impactful because when you're investing in a traditional startup or traditional fund, you know, you have one jurisdiction that you're working with. You can generally only get, you know, customers from, if you're registered in the States, if you're abroad somewhere else. But we want to make sure we are able to open this up to international investors. And because we have investors from 5 different countries right now, which is incredible. And so you can go on our website, veganafricafund.com/invest, and invest directly into the VAF crypto, and we send it to your crypto wallet. And so that is something that we have tutorials on our YouTube page, is how to set up that wallet, something I'm willing to talk to people about anytime they want to. And yeah, this is when the reason why we decided to launch a crypto is when you look at a traditional fund, there is an in point and an out point. So people invest, a venture capitalist says, I'll invest $1 million into your fund, but in 7 years, I want my return. And that is a hard stop date. And for us, when we're looking at running the Vegan Africa Fund, we're not trying to liquidate these companies that we're investing in after 3, 5, 7, 10 years. And, you know, traditionally, that is how startup financing works. And so we wanted a solution that's just more equitable, more reasonable. And so with cryptocurrency, you can actually have a rolling exit opportunity where early investors who are investing now, they can't trade their VAF on any exchange to cash out yet. But at the point where we launch on our first big exchange, and they can, whenever they decide, like, okay, this is my point of exit, I want to take my capital gains and go, they can just trade their VAF with other investors somewhere else in the world, so it keeps the liquidity pool afloat. And the exciting part about VAF is when you're investing in this crypto, you are also opening yourself up to the Vegan App network. So for example, right now, if you go to Vegan Basket on the Kenya coast, you can pay for up to half of your meal with VAF. And all of the ventures in our network who we partner with not only accept cash, but they will also accept VAF crypto. And every single time that you trade VAF for goods and services from these producers, there is a 3% burn on the VAF. So what this means is it's a deflationary currency. And one reason why people are, saying one day, Bitcoin's going to be worth $1 million, or one day we're going to see all of these currencies, do really well, is because they're deflationary instead of inflationary. So with the U.S. government, they can print bills anytime they want, and inflation goes up.
Inflation.
Which is kind of the topic of the week, right? Like we've seen some crazy news lately. But with a deflationary currency, the maximum supply actually goes down the more that the currency is used. And so we have VAF has a 90% burn rate, where the max supply would be down to 10% of the total maximum supply whenever we have traded that much in the network, meaning whenever enough transactions have happened that the 3% that's been burned is that number. And so we're working to, we have a lot more information about that in our white paper, which is kind of like a business plan mixed with the token economics for our project for Vegan Africa Fund. So you can read more about that on our website if you would like, veganafricafund.com/white paper. And investing in VAF is really investing in a vegan future of Africa. And every single investment that you make, 100% of it directly goes towards supporting an African vegan future, goes towards supporting not only our capital investments, which are helping these businesses grow. We also have a 10% social impact fund, where 10% of everything that's invested directly goes to our social impact initiatives. And then we're also working to develop our integration so we can launch our own wallet app, and several other really exciting projects that we have in the works for 2022.
So when you were speaking, one point that came to mind, or one opportunity that came to mind is, let's take Kenya, the example that you kind of kicked this off with. There is so much tourism going to Kenya, and there's
Oh yeah.
specifically a segment of vegan tourism going to Kenya. And I'm
Mm.
wondering if, that kind of population, that segment would be, an opportunity for vegan tourists to actually also consider investing in your
Mm.
fund, or countries that they feel a connection to. They're more, I guess, more interested in. I see several vegan travelers who are very, very connected to certain countries, and they go regularly. And so I'm just wondering if that's
Mm.
also an opportunity to kind of tie that in with the vegan travel agencies and the
Oh,
vegan
I
tour
love that.
operators and all these
That is
vegan.
such a good angle to think about that I actually hadn't really considered, which I need to, because one of our investors is a vegan from the UK who I met in Kenya, and really connected with. And right now, our kind of target key investors are people who run like vegan grocery stores or vegan shops, because with your VAF, we're hoping that people will be importing all of these sustainably made vegan products from Africa to the Western world and actually
Yeah.
starting to reverse that trade deficit. But we're also looking at, we've been in communications with several different university pension funds and
Oh,
university
nice.
endowments, which, we see a lot of schools and a lot of universities saying they're divesting from fossil fuels and things like that. So they need a more sustainable opportunity to invest in. And so this is something I'm talking to my alma mater with, as well as some other schools, and seeing how we can collaborate on that. But that is such an amazing point, which is vegan travelers want to invest in the places that they're traveling. Like, that's why I invested in Vegan Basket, because I know every time I come back to the Kenya coast, I want to go there, and I want it to still be there and successful. I want it to be bigger and better and reaching more people. So thank you for that just reminder that these are people who really will feel connected to Vegan Africa Fund. And
Yeah,
I'm,
yeah.
I'm I'm wondering if you, after the call, you can send me the pages that you're talking about for
I
the
will.
travelers. Okay, cool. That'd be
I
awesome.
will. I was gonna say I will, because there are a couple vegan travel, I'll just say vegan travel specialists
Mm,
who do have tours and trips and packages going
nice.
to, to that region. And Kenya comes up a lot. Kenya comes up a lot.
It's an
um,
amazing place.
I've
Absolutely
heard.
beautiful.
I've
Absolutely
heard,
incredible. You have to
yeah,
go if you haven't.
yeah, I've heard, and I was lucky to go to school with some Kenyans in an international school, and they're just so sweet and everything. And so yeah, I will send you some contacts after we wrap this up. And so that takes us
Amazing.
to our next topic, which is your Vegan Africa Fund shop. Can you tell us a bit, please, about the shop?
Yes, absolutely. I was actually just drinking my tea from my vegan app mug. So we decided to launch a merch shop because why not?
I
We launched
know.
with Redbubble. So Redbubble is an ethically sourced producer that does print on demand products, but we have an
Nice.
awesome vegan graphic designer who designed our beautiful
Beautiful.
logo. I love
Beautiful.
our logo so much. And
Wow.
so we have this available for print on, t-shirts and hats and scarves and mugs. I think I've got my coasters here as well that my
Oh
mug
my
was sitting
God,
on.
that's so cute.
I wish I had like everything here that I could show you. But yes, if you go to veganafricafund.com/shop, you can shop any of these items, and 100% of the proceeds go towards supporting the vegan future in Africa. And they're just really cute. It
Yeah.
makes a great gift for the giving time of the year, but also just in practical life, we tried to work with products that you're actually going to use. So I've got a water bottle, for example. I've got these. I've got my face masks that say vegan app on them. They have the logo, so all kinds of things. And our shop was really inspired also by our graphics design team. So definitely a huge shout out to our branding lead and our graphic designers for helping us come up with these designs. It's been truly a very fun, incredible journey. And we've really seen just amazing support of our shop since we've launched. Definitely a lot of t-shirts have sold. We've got some with the big logo and then like a little logo in the side that are super cute. And really working to build awareness through building a brand, I think
Yeah.
is really key. So having your logo and somebody seeing that when you're out, I have a baseball cap and sometimes I'll wear it out and people are like, oh, is that Africa? Like, what's up with your hat? And then I get to have this really awesome conversation with people about the Vegan Africa Fund. So lately, like every time I go out, I'm like, okay, I have to wear one of these items because it's such a good conversation starter.
Totally. It's
And
like walking advertising.
exactly. So if anyone wants to be walking advertising for the Vegan Africa Fund, it goes towards an amazing cause. You can look on our website, veganafricafund.com/ventures, to see the ventures that we're supporting or the ventures in our network. And truly, it's just super fun. I mean, I don't think that we give enough love to Mama Africa. And I love just seeing, this beautiful logo. It brings me a lot of joy. So that is, I think we launched the shop in August of this year.
Wow.
And in January, there's a few more items. We have a product drop that we're going to launch that we're very excited about.
Awesome. Oh my gosh. No, I love that logo. It's beautiful. Very good.
Thank you.
You know,
I love showing it off. I'm like, look at it.
because it's not flashy. It's very I think it's very elegant, but it's also very tapped in and tuned into to the whole vegan philosophy of like consuming plants and leaving the animals alone, and
I love the roots here that we have. It's like very much like just totally plant-based. Exactly.
I love it. I love it.
Thank you, Angel.
I love that. Yeah. I just want to say hi to everybody who's joining either live or on the replay. Please put your questions or comments down below for Sunny and she'll be happy to answer. And Sunny, that takes us to our next topic, which is the Veg Fest Morocco. You mentioned it like about half an hour ago as we've been chatting, but I would super love for you to share with us, please, a bit more about this Veg Fest. I know Veg Fests are super increasingly popular nowadays, thank goodness. I personally think that it should be an event that we as vegans and non-vegans, and you were talking earlier that they're future vegans. So I learned this phrase, pre-vegans or pre-gans. So I consider everyone who is not yet a vegan, they are a pre-gan. This is
oh my gosh.
This is what I think. And so the future is #vegan. That's what I say. And so can you share with us, please, a bit more about the Veg Fest Morocco? Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. So Veg Fest Morocco is the biggest veg fest in Africa. And I learned about them in July this year, but they've been hosting Veg Fest since 2018, every single year. And I became friends with C. Mohammed, who's the founder, in July, and who's, very excited about their November Veg Fest. It happened November 8th and 9th. And there were really big plans, some amazing speakers he wanted to come in. And we reached out to the Vegan Africa Fund, asked if we could support. We said, yes, we would love to support this effort, because it was a totally digital event that actually reached over 50,000 people on Facebook Live. So it was absolutely incredible. It was 2 full days of Pan-African and global speakers. I love the way that it was set up. Yeah, it was so much fun. Truly, just really a cultural kind of fusion. And one reason I love festivals, I grew up going to festivals, I still love festivals, is because it really does bring together different people, different cultures, different vibrations, to really just have this very open and very, loving dialogue where there are people who were speakers who, were maybe not full vegans, they're at-home vegans where everything they cook is vegan, and then they go out and maybe don't eat like that. Or there were speakers who, were vegetarian, or who have this, there was some lifestyle differences, and I think everyone kind of came together in the belief that we have to respect animal lives and rights. And I think everyone kind of walked away from it learning something. So my favorite panel, which is on our YouTube channel that you can check out, was a Pan-African and global panel on how to engage your community in veganism. So we had activists from Mauritius, from Cameroon, from Kenya, and then from Puerto Rico in the States, sharing their experiences and how did they bring people together, always kind of revolving around food and in-person events, because, veganism, it is about the food, has to taste good. As much as it's about the animals, you still have to eat
Right.
every single day.
Right.
And
No, but
so,
a lot of people really just, they relate more to the food aspect. Like, yes, we want them to also think about all the other lifestyle choices. However, a lot of people think, well, if it doesn't taste good, then how do you expect for me to do this?
exactly. Exactly. So like actually, sharing strategies by how to, get people to even try vegan food when they're turned off from it. That was a really fun conversation. And we had Jane Goodall, who was our
Oh
honoree
my
of the
gosh,
event.
she is awesome. I
Legendary
love
woman.
her. I
She
love her.
is. She gave the keynote speech kind of at the very end of the entire festival. It was really, really awesome. We had Moby, who's an animal rights
Oh my
activist and
gosh, I
musician. Yes,
love
I love
him.
Moby. He was so cool. I got to interview him about his vegan journey, which was really exciting for me, and Suki Toa, who is a Moroccan activist who was on the call with us. And really getting to connect with people who've been vegan for much longer than I have. He's been vegan since the 80s.
Yeah,
Just learn more about his advocacy through music and through
yeah.
art and through social media. It was really just inspiring. And I think that the goal was well exceeded, which was to bring people
Yeah,
together in the spirit of veganism, to share
yeah.
ideas and culture. And also, I had some really amazing connections from that. We got Vegan Africa Fund some support after VegFest Morocco, some new support, which was fantastic.
Yeah.
And we're very excited to support again next year. And actually, host of VegFest Africa is in the plans, in the works, to really, continue this momentum. Because I think one thing we realized is that even though almost all the speakers were veg or vegetarian at the festival, we had a lot of people joining us who were asking questions, who were new to veganism, and who were, in Morocco or somewhere else in Africa, that they got to see this conversation happening and say like, oh, like I'm from Nigeria and I'm seeing these Nigerian entrepreneurs speaking to me about veganism. Like, it's something that I think was eye-opening for a lot of people who might have before that said, oh, I'm from this place or that place, like we don't eat vegan, that's not our lifestyle. Seeing somebody with the same culture and same background, and it's kind of like, if they can do it, like of course I can do it. And
Yeah,
now I have
yeah.
an inspiration that I found because of this event. So it was super incredible to bring all these people together. It was a huge success, and hosting these digital events
Yeah.
is not, it's our new normal. And so to
Yeah.
see how much support we got from that, in a
Yeah.
way, it's almost like, I don't know if Jane Goodall would have come, and I don't know if Moby would have come if it was in person. So maybe it's better this way.
Yeah, and I
And
think I love that you're able to reach people globally, regardless of where they are. In English, a lot of us say, for example, we say, we'll say things like, well, even if you're going to Timbuktu, and I know Timbuktu is on the African continent, but you could just reach people anywhere. They could be in Timbuktu and you could still reach them. You know what I'm saying? So I
exactly.
just love that. And you'll have some comments here. Great work. Keep it up. And thank you for helping the community
Aw,
grow. And thank you for helping the community grow there. Awesome. No, I really love it. And
aw.
you got such big profiles. I have such a crush on Moby, by the way. It's just like, oh my
He's so
God.
cute. He's so cool. He's like 100% in it for the animals. He's like, I would die before I would eat a piece of meat again in my life. Like, there is nothing that can stop me for speaking for the voiceless. And he introduced me to the most, shocking fact of the entire Veg Fest, which was every single year it's 1 trillion animals that are killed, which I hadn't realized the number was that huge. And I asked why, and if you count all the fish and all the sea creatures and
Yeah,
all the animals that are killed,
yeah,
it's well over 1 trillion a year.
yeah,
And
yeah,
he put it in perspective in a way that kind of touched my soul, that if we keep encouraging suffering as a species, we can't evolve. Like, we have to go back to our compassionate roots, our loving roots, and realize we are animals. Like,
Yeah.
it's not save the animals, like save all those animals. It's like save the animals. Like, we have to save them to save ourselves, or we have to protect them and uplift them to uplift humanity.
I agree.
So
We're
he
all
was
connected. We're all
fun.
connected. Yeah, I just heard him on a podcast. He was
Mm-hmm.
interviewed by Koya Webb. Shout out to you, Koya Webb. And it was a very, very enlightening and, very inspirational conversation they
Mm-hmm.
had. And so, yeah, so Moby, if you're listening, yes, I have a crush on you, but that's that's another story. And so tell us, please, about your YouTube channel. I know you mentioned that, you mentioned it in a little clip there, but can you tell us a bit more about your YouTube channel, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So our YouTube channel is right now hosting several different interviews from founders, everything from Vegan Basket, who's our portfolio venture, to we have video with this community engagement panel, several conversations with vegans in Uganda, and we're
Wow.
recording conversations like this to continue sharing basically the stories of the community that we want to support, the people who are and have been working in their communities with their friends, with their families, their local businesses to help people go vegan, and really learning about their struggles and their victories and just their vegan stories. So you can find all of that and more on our YouTube channel. We also have shared, some of the content we share on Instagram, like cooking demos and things like that, which has been really fun. And our YouTube channel is really just starting to grow. So if you follow us on there, if you subscribe, that would be incredible, because we are, expecting a big push in January. I think we're going to launch a podcast, and that'll be up on YouTube as
Oh,
well. Yes, I'm
oh
very excited about.
my gosh. I love podcasts. Oh, I'm gonna have to
Oh, I
tune
love
into
them
you
too.
all. Yeah.
Awesome. And that'll be conversations with vegans around the world and across Africa about their stories and about how the global community can support the vegan community in Africa. I think that's kind of a common theme of most of our videos is, we have all of this global support every single year that comes into Africa in the form of donations, in the form of investments.
Yeah.
But we have to be investing in sustainable business. We
Mhm.
have to be uplifting the vegan business scene. And before the Vegan Africa Fund, as I said before, there was no venture capital initiative focused on scaling veganism in Africa. And some of our biggest supporters really are the diaspora and really are the global network of people who feel that connection to Africa and that desire to, uplift and help decolonize in these ways. They know that we are not acting as a, kind of paternal figure. It's really, we're investing in these businesses to do what they do best, which is to feed their communities delicious vegan food, to produce these vegan products locally, sustainably. And so our YouTube channel is really speaking to all of that. And I would, love if you check it out, give us feedbacks, comments, all of that would be incredible.
Awesome. And you have a blog. Can you tell us a bit about your blog, please?
Yes, I love the blog. So I've actually written most of the blog posts. I love to write. I wrote the white paper, the first draft, wrote all the blogs. But we're actually bringing on a content creator for our
Oh,
blogs in
okay.
2020,
Mm,
2022. So you'll
mhm.
see even more. But now it's pretty much monthly, and it's kind of just an update on what we've been up to and how we are utilizing our funds, where we had a Giving Tuesday blog and press release just talking about everything we were able to do leading up to that point and how supporting on Giving Tuesday can help us be even more impactful. And everything from that to, it kind of having these interviews with these vegan companies and then translating that instead of video format to a blog format.
Yeah,
So
because some
that has
people like,
been,
yeah. Yeah, but what I
some people
love
prefer
is, yeah, what I love is that you are really speaking to different ways that we prefer communication, even either in the written form or the video form, or more interactive, like with the festival, for example, with the Veg Fest. So I really love that. Now let's rewind for a bit, please. What is the name of your YouTube channel for those who want to go and subscribe and check you guys out?
You can find us if you search Vegan Africa Fund on YouTube. It's called Vegan Africa Fund,
Okay.
in parentheses, VAF Crypto.
Okay.
And so the YouTube channel is kind of two parts, where it's everything from the interviews and interviewing the Vegan Network to explaining the VAF Crypto and how to set up your wallet and all of these kinds of things. So it is really I think probably the best place to go as far as just video content information, and just having fun checking out our interviews and conversations.
Awesome. And then your blog, what's the URL for your blog?
It's veganafricafund.medium.com.
Okay, you're on Medium. Okay, cool. That's super popular too. So
Yeah, it's fun. I like it.
yeah, we have some feedback here. Great interview. There we go.
Thank you, Vegilicious.
And another comment here. Such good work with 3 hearts. Thank you, Brandon.
Thanks, Brandon.
Awesome. So tell us, please, are there any future projects or services that you are working on that you are willing to share with us at this time?
Yeah, so kind of gave you a little teaser earlier, but as I mentioned, we're launching an app for the VAF wallet.
Amazing.
And so not only is this a cryptocurrency app to hold your VAF in, but it's also going to be kind of the source of truth for the businesses, the business profiles. One of our goals is to operate what's called a DAO in the crypto community. It's a decentralized autonomous organization. It's kind of like a board of directors or board like shareholders. So depending on how many VAF you hold and depending on your stake in the network, we're actually going to allow you to vote on which projects we should invest in, which social impact projects we should support, and give you profiles that you can scroll through and learn more just by clicking about all these different vegan businesses.
Wow.
One thing that has been really, as I'm talking to investors, that they've been really interested in is syndication, which is instead of just investing in the fund and saying we're going to give the Vegan Africa Fund, this investment. A lot of people are like, oh, but I want to choose to invest in this company or that company and still support you. So giving them that actual option to help, say, I want to direct my funds to this deal flow in this country, and having that kind of choice for our investors. So that will be, the crypto wallet will be launched early 2022. This syndication platform will be integrated hopefully by Q2 2022, which I'm very excited about.
Yeah.
And then as far as other projects, again, we want to support Veg Fest Morocco next year. And we're really excited about Veganuary. So right now, all investments and donations that are made are going to go towards our Veganuary push, where we're going to work to support organizations in as many countries and jurisdictions as we can, because we know that the social factor of Veganuary is like so powerful to be able to see how many people are joining Veganuary and to actually have those local community driven voices and inputs and, local advice from every different region on the best foods to get to eat vegan, where to go, how to shop, really has, to be most effective, I think needs to come from some perspective that you can most easily relate to. And so we're really excited to support our organizations and content creators for January. And I think that is, kind of our holiday month. I know everyone's all excited about, December and the end of the year and Christmas if they celebrate. But for me, I'm just like, January, it's almost here.
But as far as the latest statistic I heard, there were about 500,000 participants in Veganuary this year. So it really ramped up. As you can tell, I'm a bit of a podcast fan, if you will. And I was listening to a podcast some months ago, and they were talking about, how they had basically, I don't know what the multiplier was, but I mean, imagine about 500,000 people, joining Veganuary. And so I think that for me, I see the momentum just going up and up. Hashtag the future is vegan. That's what I say. I just see it going up. So I want to applaud you for joining, locking arms with Veganuary, because it's super powerful.
No, it's such an impactful organization, impactful trend. And I think it's something I've heard a lot of people expressing interest in, and we've put out some teasers on our channels and on our social pages, which you can follow the Vegan Africa Fund at Vegan Africa Fund on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, wherever you are. And we're seeing that, people really want community when they're shifting their lifestyle. So to be able to say, okay, I'm starting today, and 500,000 people are also starting with me, and to just feel that energy, I think it's huge. And I think it's something that, if we can really uplift it and have our network come through really strong in Veganuary, I think there's a lot of hearts and minds that can be changed. And it's just so exciting.
Yeah, and the other thing too I learned is that Veganuary, although it's linked to January and the kickoff is in January, you can join it at any point in time throughout the year. So I think that's another big plus, because some people are a little bit skittish at the beginning of the year. They have so much going on. They're a little bit not too sure. But the nice thing is you can join it at any time of the year. So that's another plus, I think.
That's awesome. I love that. That's really good to know.
Yeah. So tell us, please, Sunny, what is the best way, or what are the best ways for people to contact you for more information, collaboration, comments, questions, etc.?
Yes, I love this because I am a collaborative human. I am we have to collaborate, we have to co-create. And if people want to get involved, that's amazing. You can reach out to me. The best place is here is okay, or Telegram at Sunny for Earth. You can find me on that handle anywhere you go, on Twitter, on Telegram, on Instagram, and send me a direct message. Or if you want to reach out to the Vegan Africa Fund directly, you can email hello@veganafricafund.com with any of your questions, concerns, feedbacks, investment requests, and we'll happily get back to you. And really, I really have loved this dialogue, Angel. So thank you for, being such an awesome host and making this so much fun, and for your energy and excitement around everything that the Vegan Africa Fund is working on, because this is just the beginning for this movement. And I know it's going to be such an incredible journey. So thank you for being on it with us so early.
Awesome. And, like you said, like people say, it's early days, for what you're doing, but I want to applaud you. I want to applaud you for jumping in with both feet. You didn't just dip your toe in. I mean, you are like neck deep in this. And I want to applaud you. I want to applaud you and everyone who's, helping you and accompanying you on this journey. I will be sending you a lot of links based on our conversation after this. For folks who you could, collaborate with. And I want to thank everybody who's joined, either live or on the replay. Thank you so much for all of your encouragement here for Sunny and the Vegan Africa Fund. And with that, Sunny, I want to thank you. Oh, let's see. We need more folks like you in this world. Keep going. Oh, thank you there, Brandon.
Thank you, Brandon. There's lots of us when we are I think we're going to change the world.
Yeah,
we're already changing the world. So thank you all for your support.
And we have another thank you there so much. And so, Sunny, thank you again. And I'm going to ask you for your final thoughts. If you could just wrap this all up and put a bow on it for us, please. Thank you.
Oh, I guess my final thoughts are just that right now is the time we have to be supporting the vegan future of Africa. That's why I'm here. That's why the Vegan Africa Fund exists, because there is no better time. There is a ton of momentum. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of vegan businesses that need support, that don't have access to global networks, that can't easily fundraise. And part of my joy and the reason why I do this is to be able to give these founders an opportunity to actually achieve their dreams in the biggest possible way. These are people who, maybe don't have an easy time talking to investors or funders, but love making their vegan products and love serving their community in these ways. And so for everyone who is tuned in, who feels inspired or excited and who would love to support the Vegan Africa Fund, just thank you for that energy. And if you are interested in supporting, you can reach out to me at Sunny4Earth, or you can go to veganafricafund.com/invest and support directly there. And thank you so much.
Fantastic, Sunny. So again, thank you so much. I've learned a lot. I just have so much thinking to do here and so much catching up to do on social media with you all. And I am going to now save this live on IGTV, my feed and stories, and then I'll message you after.
Okay, cool. Amazing. Well, have a beautiful rest of your day, Angel. Everyone who's tuned in, have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you for sharing this energy and space with us.
Thank you, Sunny. And thanks, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.